In this video we'll discuss how a FormView control can define show-hide expressions. These are client-side show-hide expressions that are based on external data. So typically when you create a FormView control and you create a show-hide expression, the show-hide expression is based on data that's actually in the form. So you can see here in this case we have a list control which represents the data for the form control, and we've got a container over here that is shown if the country is not equal to the USA. So right now when the country is not equal to the USA, we show this container with the red border, so you can see there. But then when we switch to the USA, we show a different container showing different fields with a blue border. So there's the USA version, there's the non-USA version. So in this case the container's show-hide expression is based on data that is actually in the form itself, so it's based on the country field in the form. And if we go to the FormView control over here, we see that the show-hide expression is based on data in the actual form itself. So one of the fields in the form is the country field, and we're saying country equals USA. But what if you wanted the show-hide expression to be based not on data that was in the form, but on some external data, say perhaps the value of some external control, or perhaps the value of a session variable that had been published to the client side? So this can also be done, and the purpose of this video is to describe how this is done. So I'm going to go now, and currently I've got this control is hidden. So I'm going to go here and unhide this control and go let's go and I'm going to hide this control here. So let's just go to insert around, and then we'll go here to our client side and just hide it with 1 equals 2. So now basically if we look at this control of this FormView control here, we can see that we've got these two variables here called alpha and beta, and when this external variable called alpha, this external variable has a value of alpha, then we're going to show the blue container. But when we switch to beta, we can see we show the red container. So in this case the show-hide expression now is not based on any data that's in the form itself, but is based on this external data, which is the value of this radio button control, which is not part of the form view. So if we look here, there's the radio button control. It has its two choices, alpha and beta, and it's the value of this control that is governing the FormView client-side show-hide expressions. So when you create a show-hide expression in the FormView, you cannot reference external data directly. You have to do it indirectly, and the way that you do it is by taking that external data and setting the FormView's state variables to that external value, and then once you've done that you can reference the state variable in your show-hide expression. So you can see here in this case my show-hide expression is not just simply country equals USA, but I'm basically looking at a state variable, and I'm saying if that state variable is alpha, then show container 1. Otherwise, if the state variable is equal to beta, then show container 2. So now the next question becomes, how do you get the value of this text box control here? It's actually with this radio button control into the FormView's state variable. So let's look now at the onChange event of this control. So if we go to the onChange event here, we see that what we're doing is we're reading the current value of the control. So this is going to be either alpha or beta, since it's a radio button control. And then we're calling the FormView set state variables method, and we're setting a variable. This is an arbitrarily named variable called myvar to the value of that control. So here we go, we're setting the value of FormView1, which is this control over there, and we're setting myvar, and so myvar is going to be either equal to alpha or beta. So let's go back now to our FormView control over here, and I'm going to just pause now and pick. So we're continuing now discussing how to use external data in a FormView's client-side expressions, in particular in a client-side show hide expression. So what we did was we showed that when the value in the radio button control is changed, we set the value of the FormView's myVar state variable, and then when we go back to the FormView control itself, we can see here that we are referencing the myVar state variable using this syntax over here. So you can also basically get help on this syntax by using this link over here, referencing external variables, and you can get to see the help that describes this over there. Also, I should point out that in order to set the initial state of the FormView control, you can see here that in the client side on render complete event, we're going to read the value of the control and then set the FormView's state variable so that when the form is initially displayed, the correct container has visibility. So let's go here now, and you can see that alpha is the selected control value over here. So we're seeing the blue container, and then when we switch to beta, we get to see the red container with a different set of fields internally. And then as we move from record to record, the container doesn't change until we change the value over there. So what we've shown in this video is how your client-side expressions in a FormView control can be based on data that is external to the FormView. Thanks very much for watching.